Well, today I'm going to be talking about an individual topic. No series, but just an individual topic. And the topic today is spiritual healing in today's world. I'm watching people in my life, in my community, I'm watching my neighbors, and I'm going to tell you, there's never been a greater call for healing than there is right now. And when I talk about spiritual healing, I'm not talking about healing just physically. I'm not just talking about healing mentally. I'm talking about healing in relationships. I'm talking about healing with respect to our career. I'm talking about healing with respect to money. I'm talking about healing with respect to self-image. I'm looking at healing in every aspect of life. And so the basic idea behind all spiritual healing is that the individual, you, me, everyone, is spiritually perfect right here and right now. Yes, we're perfect right here and right now. It is the ego that judges that says we're not perfect, that we've got to be like what society wants us to be, what our parents want us to be. And yet, no one on this planet was born to be like anyone else. We were all brought into this form, this physical form, as pure consciousness. And pure consciousness, in and of itself, is perfect. It doesn't need to shift, shape, become different, experience more. Right now, you are perfect. And so spiritual healing is the realization of that perfection. You see, the first step in spiritual mind healing is to know that it is possible. We must know that it is possible to heal, to reconnect. And of this, there can be absolutely no doubt. You see, spiritual healing does not happen if we doubt. Spiritual healing happens when we believe, when we eliminate any possibility of doubt. We must know the truth. When we know our truth, we become free. When we are free, we experience that which we desire. The key thing again is believe. We must believe that healing is possible. So if I believe that healing is possible for you, I must know that all of your thoughts, all of your words, all of your actions, and all of your feelings are now aligned with truth, that you are one with the infinite, that you are perfect in everything. And I would claim in that spiritual mind treatment I would do for you that your words, thoughts, actions, and feelings all align. And when you align, that is the belief that creates. And when we keep building that belief, we take it from consciousness, from consciously building it, we implant it in our subconscious, where it's working all the time. And when it's working all the time, we live in a state of well-being. You see, well-being is being in a state where everything is well, where we understand that everything is in balance. You see, we must build a consciousness of health, a consciousness of prosperity, a consciousness of peace. Building a consciousness is creating a mind focus, a mental atmosphere. And when we create that atmosphere, we attract to us that which we are. We don't do things, we become. And the doingness is a part of who we become. Does that make sense? We don't do to become, we become to do. And we build a state of consciousness of health. What would a healthy being be? What would they think? What would they speak? What would they feel? And how would they act? That's how you build consciousness. You see, we must make real effort to change our thinking, our emotional patterns through aggressively focused spiritual thinking. You notice I use the word aggressively. We must be aggressive. That's the only way that we can overcome these unconscious habits that are so deeply rooted. I know I have habits that have been deeply rooted for almost 70 years. And so in order for me to uproot them and to reinstall a new habit, I've got to be aggressive. Think about this. The habits that you've got today are the software program that's installed in your mind, which is your computer. So if you want to think differently, you've got to install a software update. You've got to rewrite the software in your mind, how your mind thinks, how your mind responds, how your mind feels, how your mind acts when a stimuli is put in front of it. That is the reprogram. That is aggressive work that we must do. We must overwrite it. To re-examine it over and over and over again, like most psychologists do, or psychiatrists, that doesn't serve you. That keeps you in the old software. We literally have to install a new program. We must build a total dedication to our healing, which is followed by a constant practice of the necessary techniques. Techniques are those things that we can do. Practical things that we can do every day. Meditate, do affirmations, do affirmative prayer, be in gratitude, conscious focus, surrounding ourselves with like-minded people, spiritual or deep study, teaching what we want to experience. Greatest way to learn, to teach that which you desire to experience. Because to teach, you go deeper in, you build that belief at a different level. It is a total dedication to a way of being, which will attract a way of life and a life experience. It all begins and ends when we decide that we are healthy. We must make the decision. This is the work. But to decide to be healthy means you give up any possibility of anything other than total health, anything other than total prosperity, anything other than mutually supportive relationships. You cannot have the possibility. You cannot have a plan B. There's only one plan: total health, total connection. I know when I was in the corporate world, I was the director of financial planning and analysis for, 30 years of my career. And so I would do my plan, but I always have a plan B, plan C, plan D. Guess what? In all my 30 years, we never made the original plan. Reason? We never were committed completely to it because we always had plan B, plan C, plan D. But if you only have plan A and you're committed to it, plan A will work. So it all begins and ends when we decide. You see, decision starts the process. Our determined consciousness then proceeds to empty all negatives out of our thinking. In other words, when we decide to move in a specific direction, our consciousness automatically starts to remove those things, the thoughts, actions, feelings that are not serving. Because why? We've made a decision. And those old thoughts, those old feelings, those old actions don't fit with the decision. So they can't be there because we have decided. We must remember that our physical disease did not occur overnight, and therefore there will be a period of recovery. That's right, you don't get an instantaneous healing. There is a process of healing. It is the process of deciding, aligning all of your actions, your feelings, your thoughts toward the new. It's the process of installing the new software, that you have now dedicated your life to. And with that dedication, you've changed. The change must occur. 6 weeks ago, I decided that I would move from my body fat level of 22.9%, and I would move to 18.5. Yesterday, 6 weeks, I vowed that I would measure my progress every 6 weeks. I moved from 22.3 to 20.9. I went down 1.4 percentage points. 6 weeks, I got about a third of the way to where I wanted to go. I rejoiced because I understand it's an evolution. It's not something that happens overnight. I did not go in with the expectation that I would have hit my goal. But here's what I do know. I do feel differently. I can tell the difference because I'm tuned into my body. And you say, Lee, why do you want 18.5? Who knows? I chose the number. I chose to be an elite athlete. An elite athlete with 18.5 at 70 years of age. Now, if I'm an elite athlete and I'm 21, 18 and a half is a little high, but I'm 70. And I realize there's a difference in my evolution where I'm at than where a 21-year-old is or a 40-year-old. I'm being real with myself. I'm not putting an unrealistic expectation upon me. You see, our healthy attitude and our healthy expectation of a complete recovery is the greatest cooperative element we can bring to whatever healing modality we engage in. A healthy attitude, a healthy expectation of achieving the result, cooperating with natural laws. When we bring that, our success is guaranteed. We must develop a firm belief that we are worthy. We are worthy of being healthy, and that health is our natural state of being. Self-worth is the thing that we in humanity need more of today than any time I can remember. And self-worth means to accept yourself, to know that you have everything you need within you, and that the only person you need to please is you. And with that self-worth, oh my God, our life takes off. We must remember that our body and our life is in effect. And our job in healing is to go to the cause and change it. Here, my friends, is the key. All our power to heal comes through our consciousness, our awareness of our truth, of who we are. All healing is the result of the law of belief. What we believe with our full thought and feeling will and must happen in our experience. You are a microcosm of the infinite creative power. The very power that created this cosmos responds to you. The power of personal spiritual healing is the realization, following the recognition that you are one with all that is. As I look you in the eye, I see your truth. You are perfect, whole, and complete right here and right now. And as you see that truth for yourself through me or through your own eyes, your healing is assured. It can be no other way. It is done.